All right. It looks like we are officially live on YouTube. I don't remember whether this is my first time or not. So I'm in the Little Manatee River State Park, and I was here a few months ago and went wandering down this trail. Managed to stumble across an old, abandoned or wild guava grove. And so my hope is that I can find it again today and find its relationship to the river. So when Traditional School of Herbal Studies, our Western herbal program, goes on their field botany on the river canoe trip, that we're able to access it from the river and go and explore and maybe have a snack. But, there is kind of a problem. So just now, approaching the trail. Well, let's see if I can switch this. Boo, boo, boo. There we go. So, I'm about to go off trail here. But, you never really know what you're going to find as you start to wander down some random trail in the Little Manatee River State Park. So, hopefully that is not an omen of what's to come. And needless to say, this is kind of a rough trail through here. A little bushwhacking as we go through. And ooh, look, so that's dewberry. So I had the pleasure of taking a group of students to the Scottish School of Herbalism right before COVID. And one of the old methods of learning about plants is to sit and spend time with them. And so I ended up sitting with their brambleberry, the equivalent, and ended up learning a lot about the stems of that plant. Something that I had never learned before. Whoa! Ooh, cool inside of a tree. Sometimes you find some cool mushrooms, and occasionally a little critter. Hey, look at that. We got some people on here. So, awesome sauce. So, and I'm bummed I forgot my hat. So, okay, I thought that was barbed wire. But nope. So, I'm going to jump on and off of here. And as well as on Facebook periodically. And we'll see how long my camera holds out, or my battery, I should say, on my phone. And if we're lucky, we're going to find a grove, and I'm going to log back on when I get through the thicker brush here and either find the river or some interesting plants. A lot of wait a minute vines here. Ooh, this looks like very young. Yeah, that's a very young beauty berry, which, if you don't know it, Calicarpa americana. Whew, I'll be sweating. It's warm. Calicarpa americana, the beauty berry, is also used in Chinese herbal medicine. Jiju. And this one's going to be a trick. Practice my high kicking. Get past these thorns. Good thing I wore my boots and some long pants. Because there are some. Oh, look at those thorns. Those are some mean little boogers that I'm trying to avoid. This looks also so familiar, sadly. And so the beautyberry is a phenomenal insect repellent. Has been shown to work as effective as DEET, and also good for a wet cough. Well, what is that over there? That's an odd looking tree that I don't see a lot of similar trees to. Well, let's go see what that is. So beautyberry is one that grows throughout, actually, I know at least the eastern seaboard in China, and here in Florida, it's perennial. I think up north, dies back in the winter, has an edible fruit. The Chinese fruit is white. How do I get there? And here in the U.S., it's a purple fruit. You know, it's always a trick when you're going through these palmettos. The wasp nests are sometimes on the underside of the palms. And, oh, the wild boar have been here tearing it up. Ooh. And, sorry, herbal ADD. But, oh, look at these beautiful ferns. So that's the reproductive glands on the ferns. But we're entering a swamp here. And what is that tree? That's an old magnolia. But here, wild boar have been here probably in the last 24 hours or so. But there's a couple of cool plants right here. So this is fireweed, really strong bitter, and I kind of like it in small amounts, but too much is too much. It is considered antiparasitic. But next to it is a saurus with an S, and lizard tail, and this is used as an antimicrobial. It's analgesic. There is only 2 plants in the genus Saurus. Yeah, sorry, Latin spelling while I'm out of breath, not going to happen. So let's hope there's no snakes in this swamp, but it is a little muddy. Ooh, you can really see the boar's footprints there. That's some thick water there. I don't want to go directly across because I'm going to get stuck. We're going to go a little bit uphill here. I do like it when I find boar. They're a little scary, but they usually run away instead of towards us. But maybe they'll be kind. There's some young fireweeds. Called that because it's usually the first thing that goes after a fire. We haven't had a fire through here in a while. But hopefully the boar trail, although they are very destructive to the Florida landscape, they will give me a little bit of a path through the swamp here. Let's see if we find some quicksand. That's not very solid. There's a little ridge line I think I can follow there. That's where the boar go. And boar do like some old rotten fruit, so I may work my way back over to that side. Wow, the more crazy people watching me. Everybody should go outside and watch this though, because at least here in Florida, it is a beautiful day out. So if you don't know it, I'm Bob. And presumably you're following the tradition School of Herbal Studies. And this is the foolishness that I like to do when I have a day off. And so it doesn't happen very often that I get a Saturday off. And it's funny, the fireweed changes so much. So that's fireweed, but so is that in flower. And that looks like an old, or I shouldn't say old, it's a new poke. Dang it, there's another trail going that way. I think I want to go that way. All right. So the last time I did this, I was a little misdirected and was out here for about 4.5 hours. And it was pretty good on water through there. But I'm hoping, since I've been through here once before, I don't get quite as misdirected. Yeah, got to do this now because at some point I might be too old to go bebopping through the bushes like this. That's still a long ways off for me, I hope. Oh, look at that ditch. Wow. It's almost like they carved a channel up here. I'm going to have to find a way across this. You know, but they say, oh, this is actually a moving stream, so I'm close to the river right now. I don't remember crossing this before, but They say if it's the water's wet, there's probably a gator in it. Now, I don't see any good convenient logs to cross over, so I'm going to try to go right here, take a little leap. Maybe I got it solid. That looks pretty solid. There's some otter prints over here on the other side. We had our school camping trip for the Western and Chinese students this past weekend. Ooh, oxalis, a yummy sour plant. And we ended up in the Mayaca River. This is the little manatee. If you don't know it, that is poison ivy. You know, if you're going to do plant ID, start with the toxic ones first. And at least you won't kill yourself accidentally. Ooh, some mushrooms over here. And I'm stopping, hey, because this is kicking my butt. I'm a little out of shape. Ooh, and that's a, oh my God, a dock, probably water dock, since I'm kind of a marshy area here. But A, I'm winded, but B, I am trying to find those, that grove of guava. And that's an invasive there, Caesar weed. It's in the mallow family. It is an edible, but it's a real bully. So I'm basically just staring off in the distance, trying to find some leaf structures that don't match. And so looking for the, kind of what we all learned on Sesame Street back in the day. Which one of these isn't like the other? So if I'm able to see some leaf structure that doesn't match the surrounding terrain, at the very least it's interesting. But potentially that might be my cool trees that I'm looking for in my grove. And it was on pretty dry ground, but it was surrounded by swamp. I remember that. So, ooh, that would have been a fun way to cross right there. These cypress knees are rough. Oh, I could have totally gone across that. I'm going to try to come back this way. Of course, I'm not marking my trail, which is kind of dumb, but, you know, that's the fun of a little Saturday adventure. There, I see some high ground in front of me here. And you'll notice it looks like I'm kind of just wandering aimlessly. There's the Saurus, the lizard tail. Literally, this is one of the larger patches I've seen. I'm purposely weaving back and forth. You know, one easy way to get lost in the woods is we have a tendency to always go the same direction around a tree. And after you walk for a bit, you end up having just walked in a circle. So I quite intentionally, I'll wander a little bit to the right, wander a little bit to the left, in the hope that I come out kind of, that was a scary thing, come out somewhere in the middle. All right, so I see more hog digging. This looks a little older, but hogs, besides eating roots and grubs, if there's a fruit tree around, they will be chowing down. All right. So now we're on some very high ground. On my walk in, I found some pawpaw, which was really exciting. There's no fruit on it, it was flowers, and that's how I was able to identify it. They're really a beautiful flower. They taste pretty good too. I didn't snack on any of the flowers. I want those to form fruit. And I tend to have not had great success growing the pawpaw, but tend to find it in the wild more often than not. So, spider web. I'm not a big fan of spiders. I don't have a lot of phobias, but that's one of them. All right, so we're on an open path up here that I found before. And I hate to say it, I don't remember. I think there was two of these paths. And I think it was between the two that I found the guava before. So it's always a little scary walking through palmetto that's dense like this. Is this saw palmetto? Oh yeah, that's all saw palmetto. So great medicinal herb for the prostate, for It's a very challenging flavor to get fresh saw palmetto. But the big scary is the little rattlesnakes do like to hang out on those. And I do have boots on, but they're not exactly going up to my knees, so there's a real risk of rattlesnakes when I'm going through all that stuff. Oh, see, I didn't even know I had text on here, so I apologize. I was kind of ignoring those. Let's see. Wow. And okay, so hey Ricky and Turk by V1. Hey y'all, Sailor, Jake. Yeah, I'm making mad noise because I don't want to get eaten by anything. I hear you. Yeah, I like finding like one boar and not a whole heck of a lot more. So, where are y'all from? So, it's a little bit easier walking. I think I may cut back in. So for anybody who's wondering, I'm in the Little Manatee River State Park in the west coast of Florida, and went to the end of the trail and just crashing through the bushes, in case you hadn't noticed. And I'm looking for interesting plants in general, but the last time I was here and was somewhat misdirected, I found a large grove, abandoned grove of guava, which is a super yummy fruit. The leaves are very medicinal, and this is kind of the season where we get guava, although when you find a wild grove like that, it's frequently producing fruit year-round. Leaf medicine is always there. All right, cool. Florida peeps. Ah, bummer. I know. It's definitely some rough going. And I figure so long as oh, well, there's some kind of a critter over there. Wasn't noisy enough to be a boar, I don't think, but I may have to go over there and explore. Oh, I put this on my Facebook page, but this is blackroot. So it's not quite in flower yet. It's really strong. It's got a really interesting bulb. It is medicinal, used more for spiritual work, but it is used for really deep-seated cough. Huh. That's a hog plum or a citrus tree. And so I'm assuming there's a couple of different ways and there was like probably 20 or 30 trees back here when I stumbled across it before. And it could have been just some random piece of fruit that floated up on a flood one year from a hurricane or something. Or it could be some old abandoned property that yeah, they sure do. So it could be an old abandoned grove that's been growing wild for a while. So not really sure which, but I'm hoping it's kind of just a wild one that's been there for as many trees as I saw. I'm expecting that it's probably well over 100-year-old grove. The trick is, can I find it again? So we shall see. Oh, I don't think it's that way, so I'm going to cut back through here as I see some interesting trees. So it's about to get noisy again. I got to find a path through here and see what we can find. So, that looks like a cut-in. Not exactly a trail, but it's been interesting. When I came through here before, that saw palmetto stings. It's a trick to get my feet up that high these days. We had just gotten over the effects of the hurricanes a few months earlier, and a lot of downed trees, and they still are, but you can tell they've progressed a little bit. Well, there's my creek again. So I'm going to have to find a way across. I don't think... Yeah, bugs. Yeah. Ooh, that's not going to support me. I think I'm going to go for that short guy over there instead. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not smart enough to figure out how to turn everything off. All right, that's about to collapse underneath me. We're not going that way. My little pirouette through the bushes. I think I can get across this log maybe. So this is, there's two plants. There's one, this is gelsemium. Gelsemium is compared to curare. It's highly toxic, it's a pretty flower. Yellow jessamine is its other name. It's used as a low dose botanical or homeopathic. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. All right, all that Tai Chi is paying off. Well, or I'm about to fall on my ass, so one of the two is about to happen. Keeping my weight in the bubbling springs. Okay, that was hard. Super beautiful little creek here. You can tell there's a bunch of critters over there on that little bank. I see either deer or hog prints over there, so let's see what we can find up this way. All right. Oh, now there's a popular trail. Somebody's been partying through here, and they got more than two legs. This one's going to have to be a jump. The fact that I can jump at all at 61, I guess I'm kicking ass. I thought that was a holly for a second. All right, there's a down tree. So I remember I was standing on a down tree I'd climbed up on, and that's when I spotted the grove. So this may be it. We shall see. Alright, so there's a couple of trees here. Alright, I'm going to ditch the backpack for a second and climb up this down tree. So look at the size of that root. This is probably 3 times my height. And okay, that's solid. Wow. It's not very solid. I need 2 hands. Well, I may not be at the climbing gym, but darn near the same thing. Looks like that can support me. I'm like 10 feet off the ground now. And for any of you who know me, you know I am actually scared to death of heights, but it's because I'm scared of it doesn't keep me from doing stupid shit like this. Let's see what we can see here. Ooh, that's poison ivy vine growing up that tree I gotta watch out for. Here, guava, guava, guava. So there's another down tree over there. And I think I might see, oops, I think I just touched poison ivy. Well, that's never good. I may have to go over there and see what's on the other side of that down tree. Well, look at that. The vultures are circling. They spotted me. All right, so let's see if I can get back down here without busting my ass. That is a long way down. Alright, set that down for a second. Find some handholds, some footholds. Oh. Oh. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Oh, my hips did not appreciate that action just now. Hopefully that goes back where it belongs. Oh. All right. Oops, what happened? Oh, there you guys are. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video for now. Check out Traditional School of Herbal Studies, or you might see some extra sections of video on YouTube, or excuse me, this is YouTube, on Facebook Live. So I'm going to bounce back and forth a little bit. So y'all have a beautiful day. Go outside, play in the woods. And now I got to figure out how to turn this darn thing off.